Hey, it's me, ProJared, and welcome back to Arcade Spirits. We're in the middle of the Max convention. My current status, sitting and enjoying it. It took a few minutes of searching and stalking, but eventually I found an open seat in the pop-up arcade. While the seat is satisfying, the rest of everything else is miserable. My feet are sore from walking all over. I don't remember the last time I ate. I feel dehydrated, and I have a slight headache from all the noise. And there are still 4 more hours of Max left. Oh, if Gavin saw me in my current state, leaning back, arms at my side, completely exhausted, I can picture it clearly. He'd be looming over me with his dark, unfettered eyes. He would lean close and frown, grumbling. He'd say, "Jared, I remind you these seats are for patrons only." I'd audibly sigh just thinking about it. As luck would have it, though, Gavin and Naomi are huddled over the Galaga cabinet, trying to figure out why the monitor's not working. Freedom. My buns are experiencing the best freedom it has to offer. And, while my body feels like it could collapse at any moment, I feel good about it. Right? Getting the word about Token Trove was great. Seeing people's faces light up with excitement is why I'm really here. Plus, spending time with Ashley was an added bonus. She certainly got passion to spare. I smiled to myself. The pain in my heels and the grumbling in my tummy, worth it. While enjoying the respite, I let my eyes close for a moment. And of course, the second I do that, I hear footfalls closing in. Oh. There you are, Jared. We've been looking all over for you. But we were specifically going to meet up back here at the Funplex Pop-Up Arcade. Yeah, but we didn't expect you to be talking to the darkest corner of the arcade. I'm hiding from Gavin. He'll put me to work if he sees me. Hiding behind the pinball machines is probably not the smartest choice then. You know how much he loves pinball. Every spare moment he thinks no one is watching him is spent getting that high score. I have so many candid pictures on my phone of him playing pinball. You have to show me. Like, right now. His concentration face is so cute. Before I can even react, Ashley has her phone out and is scrolling through pictures of Gavin. Both look up at me guiltily. Don't we have more important matters? Max is over in a few hours, and we still have a lot of work left to do. Oh, you're right, Jared. Please don't tell Gavin. Your secret is safe with me. Right, so business time. I think I got something. Go on. I have a friend, and she's an indie arcade developer. The new title she's been working on is amazing. It's got co-op, it's got competition, it's got magical schoolgirls. Now you're talking. It got it all. Wait, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this game. Is it called Magical Moon Cuties? Yeah, that's the one. I just thinking about premiering it at Token Trove.
Oh my gosh.
It would be cooler than cool. It sounds interesting enough. Might make for another fun game for people to play. But do you really think people would come to play a game no one has even heard of? Actually, the game has been in development for 4 years now and has a pretty big following already. My friend is somewhat known in the indie scene. I'm pretty sure it would create some buzz at least. How are you kidding, Teo? What do you mean the talk of the arcade world? I do like being the talk of world-sized things. Let's go check it out. I stand up, invigorated by the news, as I start walking back toward the hall with Teo. I hear a call from behind me. Wait! I turn around and see Ashley standing there, fidgeting, her eyes green and darting back and forth nervously. Ashley? I, too, have a plan. She motions for us to come back toward her, which we do.
Huh?
What's your idea, Ashley? She puts an arm around Teo and the other one around me, huddling the three of us together. So, what I am proposing might not be the most legal course of action. Do I even want to know? You see the huge monitors hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the major halls, right? How could I miss them? They're constantly bombarding us with ads and false hopes of high-quality convention food. No matter how amazingly tempting that $9 hot dog looks on the big screen, don't even think about it. It's true. I've had many moments where I had no other choice but just to eat convention foods, and it was the worst mistake. Overpriced, disgusting, and just painful. Exactly my point. Everyone's looking at it. I know a way to sneak into the back area. All we have to do is break into the main communication center and upload the flyer Jared made into the rotation.
Whoa!
You want to do what? Shh, keep your voice down, Teo. Unless you want to get arrested for being an accomplice. It's a genius plan. Everyone at the Max will see your name in lights. Okay, so, yeah, that's a less legal way of getting the word out. But I have to admit, you got me intrigued. And it definitely work, but I don't know. Trust me.
What about?
Of course, we need to go in disguise. I'm already nicely disguised, but Jared would need to switch into something way more distracting. Why? More distracting, exactly. Distract from your face, of course. What I'm trying to say is people will remember the costume, not the person wearing it. Which means, ProJared riots again! I knew it. Come on, you did so great on stage. Think of this as your encore. How about it? Let's not forget about magical moon cuties. It's a valid alternative. Both options are valid, honestly. Splashy advertising would certainly drive foot traffic, even if getting it up there would be dodgy. Importantly, Iris could help us do it safely without anyone noticing. Safer than Ashley going off on her own to try this inadvisable stunt. But a highly anticipated indie title might do the trick and result in far less jail time. I'm not going to do anything illegal. It wasn't even like a moment I was like, oh yeah, I guess maybe we could. It's not even so much that, regardless if we get, like, it's not even so much worried about getting caught in jail or anything. I'm also thinking to myself, if the right or wrong people learn about this, it could potentially get the Funplex banned from future Maxes. And no one wants to get banned from Max. So I'm going to say no to Ashley. And I want to check out Magical Moon Cuties with Teo. Ashley, you got this. You don't need any help from me. Honestly, I don't feel like getting carted off to jail today. It's not on my scheduled agenda. Plus, I'm pretty sure Ashley can handle breaking and entering all by herself. And yes, I do realize how wrong that sounds, even in my own head. I'd bet you've seen plenty of heist anime. So much that you can sneak into Natural History Museum and steal the world's biggest Fabergé egg in the middle of the day. I've got like 12 bobby pins holding this wig on. I won't let you down. I know you won't, and please try to be careful. Or just don't. You're not. Ashley smiles wildly before prancing off into a crowd of arcade folk. You can stop worrying, Jared. Ashley knows exactly what she's doing. That's why I'm worried. Fair enough. Well, should we go see a lady about an indie game? We shall. Oh, look at that guy in the background. Trying to play Dance Studio Central, but holding the safety bar like a fucking noob. Anyone you see playing a dance game and still holding that, that's how you know they have like no confidence in anything that they're doing. As we left the pop-up and traveled deep into the halls of Max, people kept stopping us to say hello to Teo. We'd be happily on our merry little way and then get interrupted by a random person. Oh man, it's Teo, how you doing? Great, but we're on our way to meet with someone. Let's catch up later. Cool, laters. This happened every couple of minutes. Oh man, Teo, you're so cool. Walking through the convention floor was like walking through a field of landmines, where instead of explosions, it was uncomfortable introductions to people I will probably never see again. Eventually, Teo leads me back to a section of arcade games hidden behind all the major companies' booths, near where he had held his dad's flash mob. What they had set up here is mostly reminiscent of the rest of Max. Arcade cabinets are closely lined up side by side, making several aisles for gamers to aimlessly wander down. I would have expected to be more used to pushing my way through throngs of crowds by now, but nope. Teo and I force our way through huddled masses of chittering conversations. As I look around at all the different arcade games that surround us, I notice something's off. There are exactly 0 titles that I actually recognize. No Dig Dug, Gauntlet, nor Street Fighter? Not even a hint of a pinball game? I was starting to get concerned. Teo, where in Max are we? This is the Indie Mega Arcade. Well, originally they called it the Indie Mega Arcade Expo, but then IMAX sued them. The what? That didn't explain anything to me. What are all these weird games? I understand nothing. Mm-hmm. If you'll hush those alluring lips of yours for a second, I'd be more than happy to explain. There's the Teo that I know. Okay, I'm hushing now. Totally incomplete and hushed. Where was I? Ah, yes. The Indie Mega Arcade is a huge area of Max that showcases all the new and upcoming indie arcade games. The indie developers get a chance to show off their stuff, get useful feedback, and maybe get a few people interested in their game along the way. That's the dream of the indie dev, to make a game that people enjoy playing. I really don't know much about the indie arcade scene, admittedly. Working at the Funplex offers me a crash course in arcade culture, but even with that education, it feels like every day I'm learning completely new aspects. It does make perfect sense to have an indie game scene. I just never realized that it existed. It's pretty amazing, actually. A community of people who share ideas and a passion. Can't afford mass production runs of games, but they've got a lot of heart, you know? They can't crank out of an Xbox for every arcade on Earth. Can't crank out of a box for every arcade on Earth. But indie developers are free to make whatever type of game they want. No pressure from a big name company either. Complete and utter creative freedom. Really, anyone can make a game if you put your mind to it. In fact, I bet even you, Jared, could make an arcade game. What say you? My game would be spectacular. Do I have anything to focus on right now? Yeah, I've told you the idea. I do want to make a game. Not an arcade game, but I've always wanted to help develop and publish indie game. But that's neither here nor there. Don't we have other things to focus on right now? I can't deny that when I was younger, I often wondered about making my own games, but let's be real here, I don't have time for that now. Diving headfirst into a creative endeavor would be interesting, but I'll leave that to the professionals. Right now, I'm focused on Token Trove. Starting another project on top of that wouldn't make much sense. Dreams aren't supposed to make sense. You just feel them. So follow me on a dream. What game would you make? Fine, I'll play along. But only to indulge you. I would make romance game, super cute puzzle game, roguelike procedurally generated open world twin stick platformer with loot boxes. Romance. I don't know exactly how a romance arcade game would work, but I'm all about creating new genres. I was thinking about some sort of game where you can date and romance people. Yes! Also takes place in an arcade. A game about arcade romance in an arcade. Yes! Really, the core of the game would take an in-depth look at all the different aspects of arcade communities and how they function and interact with each other. Yes, a bit slow for a coin-up arcade game, but also plenty of kissing and touching butts. Yeah, this is my game. Okay, now you're speaking my language, which is the language of love. Too easy. I like it. Well, if you ever get super bored of being an arcade event manager, I can hook you up with all the proper people to launch your second career. What do you mean? Oh, I have some friends who make arcade games for a living. Some friends? As soon as I said it, I became overtly aware of the situation. Since we stepped into the indie mega arcade, people have been waving and nodding to Teo, not to mention all the people stopping us on the way to get over here. I'd say more than some friends. You're a popular guy.
What? Come on, that's silly.
Nah. He waves his hand, waving off the very notion that I know that to be true. Why does he look so, perplexed about that? Everyone knows who he is, and I had no idea. Teo's always been such a crowd pleaser at Showtime stage, but I guess his popularity spread to all facets of his life. Dance champion and indie arcade scene champion, huh?
I try to keep my friends' circles pretty separate. Sometimes it's not always perfect, and they tend to overlap. You know, like a Max. But hey, it's got upsides. All my friends are here. The biggest downside of Max is just so hard to see everyone. I never get to spend enough time with them, you know? I got friends here in the Indie Mega Arcade. I got my Funplex crew. I got the dancing community. I just can't see them all. And when I can't see them, I feel like I let them down. I hate having to choose between them. Once again, I've failed my friends. You know, it's a surprise anyone still talks to me anymore.
Teo sighs heavily, his mood shifted from excitement to utter solace. The cool, collected Teo is showing a side I've not seen yet. I guess he's able to experience emotion other than joy. Confirmed. Teo is not a joy robot. But this isn't right. Sad Teo is worst Teo. As his friend, I must fix this. You can't please everyone. Allow me to boost your ego, or you haven't let me down. Yeah, you can't please everyone, Teo. Just how it is. Teo puts too much pressure on himself. With the amount of people he knows, it's physically impossible to see everyone. There is literally no way you can meet and hang out with every single person you know. If you had given 15 minutes to the amount of people I've seen you say hello to, it would take you an entire day to get through them. You exaggerate. Teo, if there's one thing you can be sure of, is that Jared doesn't exaggerate. I only observe and state the objective facts. Usually. It's tough only seeing the people you care about every once in a while, but you've been doing a great job. I've seen so many of your friends stop and say hello to you, plus they completely understood when you told them you were busy. Not one left without a smile on their face. They really care about you. You know what, Jared? You're right. The more I hang out with Teo, the more I learn about him. It's always something new and something unexpected. Let's bring this back around to why we're here. How did you get involved in the indie arcade scene anyway? Through Michelle, the indie developer I want you to meet. I met her a few years ago at a previous Max. I was hanging out with my crew near the dancing games, and she stopped by to play around. Since she was new to the scene, I struck up a conversation with her, much like when I met you. So there's plenty of flirting then. I cannot help myself when surrounded by such beautiful, wonderful people. And Michelle makes indie arcade games? She's only the coolest, most prolific arcade developers in the industry today. She's worked on several big-name indie games, and when she's not working, she's speaking all over the world about arcade development. Color me impressed. Sounds like Michelle is the sort of influential person who could really help with Token Trove. She really is. Oh, there she is. I'm, what now? Mateo Alvarez? Can I date you? Oh, Michelle, only the worst person I've ever met. Has to be expected from somebody of your caliber. Touché. I was just looking for you, by the way. Well, I'm glad I found you then. What's on your mind? I wanted to introduce you to Jared. Nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. It took me a second, but Michelle totally looks like, uh-oh. You aren't perchance also a federal agent? Yeah. This is it. I'm doomed. It was a setup. I'm about to be renditioned into a CIA black site. Who, me? No way. Although my sister, well, I can neither confirm nor deny what she does for a living. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. I'm gonna shut up now and focus on arcade stuffs. I think what Jared is trying to say is that you seem to have a very confident and authoritative expression. That's all. Yep, that's exactly what I meant. Got it on the nose. Thanks, Teo. Sure. Okay, let's go with that. Anyway, I spoke to Teo earlier today, and he told me you had a business proposition. Consider me all ears. Allow me to elaborate. Jared here was recently appointed as the event manager for the Funplex. Congrats. That's that cute little mom and pop place where Teo gets his groove on, right? I would categorize it as more like a grandma and grandpa kind of arcade. It's not the fanciest one out there, but it's got heart. I like an arcade with a good heart. Reminds me of my youth. The good old days when you walk into your home away from home, quarter up, and enjoy the company. But I digress, getting too swept up in memories. Tell me more about the proposal. Jared is putting on a special event at the Funplex called Token Trove. It's a celebration of the arcade scene, if you will. Oh, I will. We're going to have high score competitions, esports stuff, mystery game reveals, the works. I'm going all out on it. And Teo, I take it you're doing a dance event as well? He is, but it'd be great if we could add one more thing to the list. Maybe the premiere of a new indie game? Le gasp! Could you possibly mean my game, Magical Moon Cuties? If you'll allow us the honors. Have I given you the elevator pitch yet? All I know is that there are magical schoolgirls, and I'm intrigued. It's a competitive cooperative puzzle game where people have to work together to match all the magical orbs before their opponents can. Think 3-player magical drop, but with combo attacks. Ooh, 3-player magical drop. Everyone plays as a different adorable magical schoolgirl, hence the cuties part. That sounds better than the last time I heard it. Right? I'm pretty excited to share magical moon cuties to the world. I've been mostly doing some very selective demos for media outlets today, but so far the general public hasn't been allowed to play it. I'm looking for the perfect place and time to release it. Big publicity would mean I might land a manufacturing contract or a publisher, so I could do a wide release. Token Trove might be a good choice for that, but I'm going to need a little more convincing. What else you got? Okay, Jared, don't blow this. Connected with Teo? Nah, that doesn't seem right. To help promote her game, I'm not going to be like, think of the people you know, because this doesn't mean anything with Token Trove. This just means you know Teo. And she knows Teo. She can just do stuff with Teo. She doesn't need me. So I'm going to say it's all about the heart of the arcade. Michelle had mentioned earlier that she likes an arcade that has heart and soul. I should appeal to that. You aren't going to find an arcade that has more spirit than the Funplex. Everyone who frequents there, employees and patrons alike, want nothing more for this event to succeed. This is our chance to show the world our dreams. We've been pouring all of our combined energy into making Token Trove victorious. Teo, myself, all the staff, all the gamers. With magical moon cuties on our side, we can just bring even more heart to this affair. It's the perfect fit for the kind of friendly atmosphere we want, bringing people together. Oi, you got me right in the feels. Plus, I really want to play magical moon cuties too. Ha, fair enough, I was just sassing you anyway. After discussing it with Teo, I already knew I was going to show magical moon cuties at the Funplex. Love that enthusiasm though. Really? Really? I mean, it's either the Funplex or Deco's Palace, and while Deco is the heavyweight champion of the arcade world, it's not a good fit for my dreams. Great, so it's settled? I think so. I know so. Magical Moon Cuties will have its first playable showing to the public at Token Trove. I'll haul my prototype cabinet over to your arcade for the day before so you can get it set up. I'd appreciate you keeping it hidden until the event though. I already bought a mystery concealing tarp for our rare game release. Heck, what's one more mystery concealing tarp between friends? This will be an event to remember and I'm thrilled. I can't wait to share the news with everyone. Jared, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Oh, but I should really be thanking you. Sorry to cut this convo off, but Michelle, your next interview is here. It's Mark from Hexagon. Mark, Hexagon, got it. Ugh, it's so hard to keep track of all these different media outlets. Jared, it's been great. My people will call your people, or whatever they do these days. Oh, expect your social media to explode later today. Ta-ta! And in a flash, Michelle wandered back into a crowd of people, her friend leading her into the next interview. Leaving me standing in shock, unable to believe what had just happened. A top indie designer premiering at my event. I imagined the adorable smiling faces of anime magical schoolgirls. I could practically hear them cheering me on. I knew everything would be okay. This is my life?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Just musing to myself. Out loud, nonetheless. No worries, I do it all the time. Mostly when I'm alone, though.
Love it.
But overall, that went really well. I'm glad that Michelle is really excited to bring her game to the Funplex. Me too. Honestly, I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. What with Ashley helping me with the hype at the cosplay contest, I feel like Token Trove is going to be amazing. That's the spirit. I never doubted you for a second. I was about to reply with a totally witty retort about doubting in time. However, we were interrupted by the sounds of a bell chime. The hall will be closing in 30 minutes. It's over already? And I was just getting started. I'd barely seen anything yet. I could do this for at least another 4 hours. I am frightened and confused as how you still have so much energy left, Teo. I'm amazed even myself sometimes. As for me, I was exhausted, allowing yawns to escape my mouth. Well, I'm officially pooped and ready to go home. I still want to squeeze in a couple more games before the hall closes. They're going to have to drag you out of the hall once it closes, aren't they? Kicking and screaming. Thanks for your help with Token Trove today. That's what friends are for. And I'm glad to have you as a friend. Ditto. See you back in the arcade, Jared. With our pleasantries exchanged, I left Teo to finish the dying seconds of Max in the Indie Mega Arcade. I don't know if I really buy Teo's. I'm just so popular. It's so hard to meet and see everyone. It's just, I let them all down if I don't. Oh, it's so hard. Everyone wants to talk to me. Like, I totally get the feeling of not wanting to let your friends down and all that. But here it's just like, oh, I'm just such a cool guy. I don't know. And I didn't really find that aspect to be very appealing of Teo. All in all, a successful day.
Beep beep.
You have a new text message. Operation Hot Dog Takedown. Mission complete. Asset extracted and heading home for a leisurely bath and some anime. Huh? She hacked the video signs and snuck away.
Good work.
Look at the screens. Our flyer's airing there now. Wow, I didn't expect Ashley was a hacker. Maybe we should swap tips. I'd like the Funplex to commit less felonies rather than more, Iris. Oh, okay. Right, time to head home. I promised I would meet Juniper just outside the main exit of the hall, and that's exactly where I was headed. The rush of fresh air hit me as I pushed the double glass doors open. It was nice, refreshing, and had a much better smell than the one I had been around all day. It relieved all the stress built up from the entire day. I didn't have to wait long until I saw Juniper. She bounced happily up to me. So, how was your first Max, Jared? It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Yeah. The amount of support I got from my friends today was amazing. I know I can always count on them and feel like we've bonded closer as friends. I can't wait to go back next year. That's to be expected with the convention. Although in your case, you really outdid yourself and we got smacked with 300% of what anyone else would have hit, yeah? How do you figure? Well, most people drop by Max, play some games, maybe attend a panel or two, do some shopping. They're here to be catered to. You, on the other hand, were doing the catering. And like any good caterer, that means spinning plates and doing 12 different things at once. You found interesting ways to push Token Trove and promote the Funplex as a whole. You worked your butt off to do it. So then, rather than attending Max, you were Max. Sure feels that way. I'm totally drained.
Ooh.
I kind of envy you, you know. It sounds like you had some great adventures today, other than designing that flyer. I didn't do much stuff beyond playing a few games and buying cute t-shirts and stuff. But let me tell you, they are really super cute shirts. I'm glad I could support you, though. Even if it was just, you know, by doodling up a flyer. That's hardly doodle. You did great work designing it. Give some credit where credit's due. Hey, don't sell yourself short. That flyer looked super professional. I mean, no fun Comic Sans, but still pretty cool.
Thank you.
I don't exactly get a lot of opportunities at the office to express myself. Okay, let's get home and get some real rest. We've both earned it. In fact, I said we took it... Juniper. Don't. To the max! Ah! I knew she was going to do it too. Just go home and eat pizza bagels, please. After that moment, the rest of the evening was a blur. I knew that Juniper and I took the train back home, heated up some pizza bagels, and I safely made it into my comfy bed. I think I was still in shock. At the beginning of this day, I thought that no one was going to know about Token Trove. We'd be stuck as a relatively unknown mom-and-pop arcade. But now, it seems like the whole world knows. Which is great, but also pretty nerve-wracking. I sighed heavily, letting all my mixed emotions flow over me. There's no turning back now. What I set in motion will stay in motion. It can only get bigger and better from here. At least, that's what I'm going to keep telling myself as I drift to sleep. I'm proud of what I accomplished today, and I can't wait to tell everyone at the Funplex what I've done. I hope they're proud of me too. And before I know it, Token Trove will be upon us. Ooh, that was a bit of a shorter chapter. I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You've cleared level 3 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. Looks like you're really hitting it off with Naomi. Still. Got a couple more points with Queen Bee. Not quite as high as Ashley still, but kind of up there. I got like one more in with Teo. Which I guess I do like Teo a little bit more than Gavin. But all in all, this all looks about exactly where I thought I would be. This is what you expected. You're proving to be a gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, you've scored 12,050 points. Go for the high score. Actually, I don't know what the high score is, but hey, go for it anyway. Alright, let's save the game here. And then, we'll call this episode. It's a perfectly good place to end it since, you know, end of the chapter. Works for me. Slightly on the shorter side of an episode, but that's fine. Let's give my voice a break. So, from here on out, I guess we'll inch ever closer to Treasure Trove. And we'll see what may from that. As always, thank you guys so very much for watching. See you next time.